the show on the YouTube channel. Come on. Please. There's no way, like, people get in here before I'm live. There's no way, like... Okay, good. I was gonna make sure that... If someone had, like, post notifications on this channel, they're a fucking weirdo. If someone had, like, post notifications on this channel... Do you have post notifications on this channel? Do you have post notifications on this channel? All right. Oh, I have plenty of invites. I'm a popular man in Formula 11. What can I say? Ladies. Yes. C Boogie is not going to be here for this race. That's one absence I do know of. Levo, he's a part of Red Bull. He's a new signing. That's a name we're going to need to keep an eye on. Sarkles, he has signed to a team last week. He was a part of that little weird shenanigans of Aston Martin. Well, this time he's found himself with B&A. He's a part of that team at Mercedes, so it's going to be interesting if he can kind of turn that around. And here's actually B&A. He's in the race this week, somehow. He hasn't gotten a race ban, folks. Well, the thing with Sline is Sline has been a very consistent member in throughout his time at Williams. He was the original fastest member in F11 until Fierce came along. One thing he's really going to have to do here, and he can do with his consistency, he's just going to have to be consistent at Coda. Because this is a track a lot of people can make mistakes, and it's going to be interesting to see who makes mistakes where, when Fierce has got to be consistent if he's going to want to win this race. And he doesn't like Coda. That's all I'm going to say. Ducky, his experience, he's going to have to use his race pace that he had in F12 and try to use that to try and get to another gap. But the biggest names I want to look at, Sarkles and Levo. There are oddballs, wild cards. We don't know anything about them. Big P also, he's back. I just noticed that, actually. I don't know how I feel about that. Big P right off of a race ban. He's going to be another one to put a little safety cone around. but Levo and Sarkles both in some pretty respective leagues in other leagues around the Formula world of racing. So I want to see what they do, and maybe Fierce doesn't win the title tonight. I mean, a mistake with Levo, Sarkles, someone at the front. If he finishes PA8 and below, and let's say Chase wins the race here today, he doesn't win the world championship. It's gonna have to be, yeah. Yeah, one interesting thing to. I just got a message from one of our drivers. They just told me, "fuck you." So, um, yeah, one thing that I feel like the most consistent strategy. I'm looking at race strategy, and I'm looking at the most consistent ones we're gonna see is a one stop. The two stop is not really in play here with only 28 laps. The tires you're going to see the most out of are the mediums and the hards. Most cars might go for the mediums at the start and then transfer onto the hards at the end. The hards are usually the best race tires that we've seen in Formula 11 this year. And at Coda, it should be the same exact way. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone maybe tries to go for a two stop. Maybe two stops on the soft, maybe a stop on the medium, a stop on the hard. Who knows? Possible dark races. I love Skolum. Skolum has been one of my favorite racers throughout the season. Consistency pays off, and if he stays out of harm's way, Skolum can always put in a great result. Late the Rest showed a lot of pace last week in a great pit strategy with the safety car. He got P5, his best showing so far. Adele, he has amazing qualifying pace, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe he can throw it on pole. But another car, Moon. He's hungry. He thinks he can take it to Fierce, and maybe he can, and maybe Coda's a track to do it right here on Fierce's home turf. He is the Aussie. Indeed, we have 17 racers. We're only missing, let's see, who are we missing? We are missing one of the kick savers. Luzzy is not going to race. That's an interesting strategy, especially with the constructors on the line. Because if Fierce doesn't win here today, and Luzzy doesn't get us, if Luzzy or maybe a second driver doesn't get in, then, well, they're not going to have a racer. And it's, well, ultimately, you're just going to have to. Well, the tricky part is the S's. And when the S's, and why I say the S's are the tricky part, is because whenever you get through that last bit and you're going on the last runs of that tire, you really ain't got nothing left. And your grip is gone, and you're trying to make those zigzag turns. I feel like that's a place most drivers like to concentrate on. But me, I like to be aggressive, so I'm always going to go the straights over the turns. I like to be aggressive with it, and I feel like we're going to see a couple strategies like that. Chase, Faye, that's who that is. He's definitely going to have a low downforce setup. He loves to be aggressive. Nappy, we could see him throw in a crazy setup. It's going to be interesting. And Wii Sports, this is your first race. What are you most forward to seeing for the first time? What are you look what are, what are you most looking forward to? Yes, absolutely. And I just got the report from Kicksaver. They're trying to get in a second driver. His name is Trez, but he's currently not in. And if he doesn't get in, Luzzy will be making a substitution into the Kicksaver car. Yeah, so the cars we're missing is the one Kicksalver and the Haas driver. No Lenny tonight, no Mikey, so it's just Ghosty out there. And we are just 1 minute until race start. People should be readying up soon. And it looks like Luzzy is gonna hop on down to the paddock. He's gonna hop into the garage and he's gonna take over that Kicksalver car. Really? Um, Roger, Roger. Wait, we sports talk. They can't hear you. Okay. Okay. Do me a favor. We're going to pause the broadcast for a second, folks, and we're gonna go make sure fix this audio issue. But the broadcast will stay on, but we're just gonna pause it for a second. Actually, I'm just gonna mute. I don't think I can hear you on here still, bro. Adele in third right now, running a 132.7. Fierce has ran a 132.4. Laid the rest, I believe, is on his lap. Let's make sure these settings are proper. They are. We should have some decent. Yes. I don't think they can hear you. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Laid the rest has Mile, I think, right behind them. There we go. Tacos, do you hear my counterpart, Wii Sports, though? Laid the rest wasn't on the lap. Line across the line. He runs P10, 133.8. A good lap there by Slime. Ducky across the line at 145. I assume he must have had to back off on that lap. Luzzy, first time we've seen him in racing action, he ran a 134.7. Not the Sarkles. He's up on his lap time, and he's up by a lot. I think this could be a great time. A 131? Here comes Sarkles. 132.1. Fierce, do you have anything to say with 6 minutes left in qualifying? Sarkles, he started P3 a week ago. Or P2 or P1, one of those top 3 spots. He finished the lap P2 though. But he had a fantastic showing. Ducky having a lot of trouble adjusting to the track. One person we're about to see, Chase, down in P8 is... And this one is gonna be an improvement up into P3. And it's a 132.7 for the Lavello. Yeah, almost went invalidated right there. This is going to be an improvement on his last lap. The question is where? It's a 132.9 for Moon. He bumps up into P5, but now we're going to watch Chase. His debut race for Williams. Can he put in a lap? 100%, and you'll notice throughout the course of the race, it's going to prove even more of a problem than most of the drivers, and it's really just going to be, well, can you stay in the white lines? Chase is moving throughout the lap. Chase doesn't improve. I mean, he does to P7, but Chase is way off base. We're going to go tune in on some... Wow. Nappy's on his lap. We're going to tune in with him. Nappy would love a great result here. But ahead of him, I think, is Adele. And Adele just went purple in the second sector. Adele, the unspoken hero of Formula 11, one of the most quiet members, has gotten his car up in the P4 and hoping for a big result for the Alpines. Across the line, where is he going to put the car? P3, he takes it back from Lavello. Nappy takes it from his teammate and Skolem and takes it back from Chase. He's up in the P5. Laid the rest, running his lap. It's not a great one, but it's going to be a 136.8. Chase just wrecked into the wall. Chase, he wrecks into the wall, the one person that he needed to qualify ahead of to try and maybe have a slither of hope in this battle of a championship was Fierce. And Fierce is currently sitting P2 with a 132.4, almost a second faster than Chase. If Chase had any chance at a title, it never existed because of Fierce. Just got reports Ducky is running purple sectors here in Sector 2. We're tuning in. What does Ducky have to say? P18 on the timing boards. He's going to cross the line. P8. He kicks Chase P out of the top 8, and could Chase fall out of the top 10? Multiple drivers on laps. Tony World crossing the line. Can he improve? He does up in the P6. Well, he improves on his time, but nothing crazy. And now we are watching Razdam, our first driver potentially able to maybe kick Chase out of the top 10. He's been slacking these last couple races. Is this going to be the moment that could catch up to him? No, he's going to go. Oh, And Big P almost kicked Chase out of the top 10. He goes P10, but it's not enough. We're going to have to see some great lap times. Line is going to want one too. Luzzy is not going to be able to put it. Lavello has gone purple in Sector 2. We're going to check in on him. Lavello crossing the line. This is going to be a great time. A 132.5. Up in the P3. Sarkle's improving. And he's on pole! A 131.8! Can Fierce have anything to say? He's not improving on his time. A 132.4. Skolem! P3. A 132.5. Fierce improves, but it's not enough. 132.4. B&A. B&A can't put in a lap time. He's going to start at the very back of the grid. Can Moon, the last man on the lap? Slide up in the P10. Both Williams cars will start in the top 10 this race. Huge for JR. But Moon will improve, but not enough. Ducky settles down in the P8, and our grid is set. Sarkle's P1. Fierce follows along with P2. Scullum, the V-Carb driver, and his senior teammate, Lavello, follows him in P4. Adele in P5. Both McLaren drivers in P6 and P7, followed by the Ferrari of Ducky in P8, with both Williams drivers settling for P9 and P10, a very devastating qualifying for both great drivers. Big P is settling in a P11 after his race ban. Flying Cow, Razum, who's the free agent for today's race. I don't know. Luzzy and P14 in his first action back with Ghosty, Tony, Mile, laid the rest, and B&A finishing out our grid. We're gonna ask our anonymous commentator, who unfortunately cannot share his voice, who his prediction is for the top 3 of our race today. Mm-hmm. And maybe a podium? Alright, Wii Sports, his top 3 is Sparkles in P1, Fierce in P2, and Give It Chase in P3. He says, what better place to defend in turn 1 than P1? And I agree, my pick is Sarkles, but this is where I get a little crazy. I say Lavello, and then I say Skolem. I think we're going to have a little crazy race here today. Yes, exactly, and I think it's going to be very interesting. I think we'll see at least one safety car, and we are getting ready for our formation lap. Couple cars parked on the grid, not moving. One of them being Moon. Yeah, Moon gets a parking ticket. It's gonna have to stay there. Gonna have some extremely cold tires. That's gonna make it a little harder for those mid-pack drivers. Eh, Yeah, yeah. Everybody on mediums besides Luzzy and Fierce on hards, Luzzy on softs. I think the biggest thing is why would you do softs if you're Luzzy? That's the biggest. Yeah, starting in P14, you really ain't got much to lose, so starting on soft could be a risk he's willing to take. Fierce, though, it's going to be interesting to see what he does starting on hards. And this is why I say I didn't include Fierce on my podium. I said Sarkles, Skull, Lavello, and Skull. And this is where it's going to get interesting, folks. We come to the line, Sarkles. I can't even see. Oh yeah, Sargles had a terrible parking job. And we have 5 lights. And away we go. Sarkles up the hill. He gets an outstanding runaway. Fierce is slow. Lavello goes around the outside, and so does Nappy. Nappy up in the P2. He has a fantastic jump, but he settles down in the P4 after a hell of a dive bomb, and we are still having lots of action. Oh, and a lay the rest in the back takes contact. Laid the rest retires. He's into the wall. We might have a safety car here early. Do we have a safety car? Yes, I hear you. I don't know. PlayStation does that sometimes. Oh, laid the rest. He went into the wall. Uh, laid the rest, retiring the VSC. I believe we are under virtual safety car. I wish the fucking game would tell me. But Luzzy, as we look into our grid, start. Biggest position gainers. B&A has jumped 7 positions. Mild has jumped 6 positions. As we have just gotten green, Sarkles, Lavello, and Fierce take up our top 3 racers of Skolum, the head of the pack. Yeah, uh, yeah, Dell has dropped all the way back to 7th. He had an outstanding qualifying. He's going to want to try and make a recovery from here. Chase, he had a disastrous start all the way back in the P16. Yeah, him, Raz, and Big P. Moon also back there. Ghosty as well. Tony B&A. Yeah, and Adele and Flying Cow, I believe, are fighting. And Sline is gonna go down the inside. He's gonna use his battery. He's gonna try and go. He's not gonna have enough speed around the outside. And Flying Cow will keep the position on his old teammate. The two teammates going back at each other. Skullum Ducky. Ducky makes the overtake. Yeah, we just got some reports. Nappy has gotten some wing damage on that right wing. You can see it there. The wing has taken some damage. But one thing to notice, Sarkles and Lavello have taken out a massive gap to Fierce. A 3-second gap already. And Razum, the first one to fall to the time penalties, he gets 3. But Ducky now in the back of Nappy. Ducky wants to make a chance for... Well, Ducky wants to make a case for Ferrari to win the Constructors. And a win here would... well, just a position over Fierce would do numbers for this team. But first he's got to get past Nappy. And, well, right now... Yeah. With DRS, it shouldn't be a problem for Ducky. He's gonna go around the outside. They're gonna go wheel to wheel. And around the outside he goes, and in the background his teammate Moon completes the overtake on Tony. Oh, we're still side by side. Ducky still battling for position, and he's gonna keep it. And right now, Flying Cow and Skullum battling for position. Yeah, these guys are all... Sline! Can he stick it? He goes off the track. He might have to give that position back. He doesn't. He's still battling. Yeah, great. Yes, Golem and Nappy taking contact. Golem not getting any damage, luckily for him. He gets the better end of it. But one thing to look at is the gap between now Ducky and Nappy. That wing on Nappy is causing him seconds right now in this race. Because right now it is Ducky pulling away, trying to catch back up to Fierce. Sarkle's pulling away from Lavello, and Lavello pulling away from Fierce. And right now, Skullum on the inside! He completes the overtake. There's damage in the background. B&A overtaking Moon. Moon's not gonna like that one. Luzzy has dropped into P12. Remember, he was on those soft to start the race. Well, they're not lasting, folks. Skullum now, who finally got past Nappy, is now gonna have to try and give it to Ducky. And Skullum, who is starting to... Yes? Yes, Flying Cow does have wing damage. We're gonna take a look at his car here. The right wing on Flying Cow, we have a fucking amazing aerial shot that we don't need right now for some reason. And there we go. There's the wing damage. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can try and keep up with Flying Cow, or if this DRS train is going to drop off. It's currently from P7 all the way back to P13, and Adele with the overtake drifts into the corner and completes it. Flying Cow gets a 3-second as well. Big P with a lot of damage just went into the wall, and he's out of the Austin Grand Prix. As Sarkles crosses the line, his gap extends to 3 seconds. Fierce and Lavello's now down to 2.5. We're taking a look at some warnings here. One person. Moon into the wall. He made contact with Slime. We missed it because we were looking at penalties, but Moon has massive damage. Slime also has damage. And right now, Tony, who hasn't raced in a while, made his return back here at Aston Martin. He is now trying to get by the car of Luzzy. Can he complete the overtake? He's got better tires. Skull him with 3 seconds. That's not. Yeah, he's losing out on valuable time. Yeah, caution. These guys are getting chippy up at the top, and the question is, could it? Line is into the pits. The first driver into the pits. Moon will not follow suit, but Tony will complete the overtake over Moon. And in the back of the race is still Chase, Razum, and now Slime joining the race for dead last. Yeah, the gap now shrinking between Lavello and Fierce. It was 2.4, it's now down to 2. He's cutting it at around 0.1, about 0.2 lap. Not really much, but it's starting to drop more and more as the laps go by. Golem, Nappy, battling. They're battling hard. Let's look at penalties. Everyone with a penalty so far just has the 3 seconds, so nothing to keep an eye on insanely much right now. Line. Yeah, incredible third sector. He cut off 0.6 seconds off of that. Flying Cow now into the pits. And Luzzy finally going into the pits. A much needed pit stop for that driver, as you can see all the wear and tear on those tires. Flying Cow. Yeah, but one thing to keep an eye on, Luzzy is on the medium tire. So he will be doing it too. Yeah, Fierce now has DRS, and now the question is, Fierce has to make the pass on Lavello. What will Lavello do with his strategy now? Because with Fierce catching up, will this make his strategy change to try and well make a move on Fierce? Adele and Nappy battling hard, and Adele will keep the position over Nappy, and he will stay through after contact was made. Fierce and Lavello, as Fierce makes the pass into turn one on the straight, and now left the game. We have just gotten reports that Chase has left the game. Razdian, I don't know. But Fierce now cutting the gap to Circles. But the most important thing, yeah, has Fierce played the right strategy? Because it is looking fantastic for him right now. You almost expect this to be Fierce's championship. Chase out of the race. Well, actually, folks, with Chase out of the race, all Fierce. Yeah, but we're not giving him points. Anyway, Fierce now, since he is in the race, all he has to do is finish the race in the points. Chase is back, but all Fierce has to do is finish in the points, and he is a champion. But Sarkles is the last man in his way of a perfect season, and let me tell you, Fierce wants it. Fierce now down to a 1.4 second, 1.3. Adele, can he stick the overtake into the inside now of Skolum? They're battling hard. Adele almost making contact, wheel to wheel. These drivers still giving it all they have, and Skolum will keep it. And Sarkles goes into the pits before Fierce can catch up to him, and that will most likely open the door for a 2-stop penalty depending on what tire he goes on here. And he's going onto the hard, so it's going to be an interesting sight to see what he does from here. But Fierce is now going to have to work off of Sarkles. Because, well, yeah, one thing he doesn't want to do, though, is get caught up behind these McLarens. And one thing you got to look at the front of these two McLarens. They have damage. Well, yeah, a lot slower than turns. You can already see him getting caught up. And the gap currently 19 seconds. You lose about 17. Yeah, he's already going for a move, and he completes one overtake, and now he's got to catch up the Moon. But you lose about 18 seconds in the pit lane, so it's going to be interesting to see when Fierce and Adele and Skolem are going back at it. We hear it. Skolem makes contact. He loses it. He makes contact with Adele. Adele loses it in the rear. Moon also made contact. Everyone's making contact. As Sarkle's just trying to survive. He's found his way into this battle. A battle he has wants no part of. And if Fierce was smart, this would be the time to pit. Yeah, but with the way Sarkles is moving through these cars, it's gonna be interesting to see how Moon is going to defend Sarkles here. Moon has been known as a little right hand man to Fierce in races ever since the departure from Ferrari. He has been known to maybe give him some wins and help him out in some ways. So, but it will be interesting to see how he will play Sarkles here. As we look at yeah, he's just gonna sit it behind there for P3. Moon, he really didn't have enough there, and on those 11, 12 lap tires, there's no reason to try and fight too hard. But now, the gap between Sarkles and Fierce is now 20 seconds. Fierce is now getting an insane amount of help from the cars behind playing defense on Sarkles. No cars separating them. Lavello as a Ducky, Adele, and Moon all go into the pits. Flying Cow has currently made up 7 positions in this race. Yeah, right by each other and battling hard. As Chase is into the pits now. Flying Cow and Ducky make contact as they battle on the straight. Flying Cow playing aggressive defense. Can Ducky get around on the outside? They are still going at it. Ducky, he's not going to have enough with the ERS, and Flying Cow is going to keep the position. Luzzy B&A battling. What will it look like? Will Luzzy be aggressive? He's not the most aggressive man in the world. Chase with the 3-second time penalty. Chase almost a minute back from the leader. Oh. Yeah, that gap getting considerably close. I said my cock is tiny. Skolem, Slime, there they go, and Skolem, can he complete the overtake? Slime completed the overtake, and Golem is gonna have to fall off the back of Adele, the car he was trying to fight so vigorously for against early on in this race. He's not gonna have that battle as Chase retires into the pit lane. Fierce with 2 points today is your World Drivers' Champion. Golem, Adele, and Razum battling Golem and Slime. As Slime now B&A getting into the fight. Slime on 7-lap tires, so B&A is gonna be on faster tires. Can he complete the overtake? And Razum, who's battling Adele, is on 12-lap tires. So it's... Yeah, Ducky sitting behind... Ducky sitting behind Flying Cow, but Flying Cow is on those 7-lap old medium tires, so it's really just Flying Cow holding up Ducky, but Ducky is just trying to get some points for this Ferrari team. Slime and B&A make contact in the back of the grid, but B&A goes off the track to try and get away from him. And it's going to be another 3-second, but Ducky will complete the overtake on Flying Cow. But they are still battling on the straight. Moon, he has DRS. He's going to try the overtake on Flying Cow. Can he complete it? They're still battling. Moon trying to force him inside a little bit more. Trying to force him into a mistake. He doesn't. But Moon will complete the overtake, but Flying Cow's not done! How are these two still doing this? Moon, he's gonna complete the overtake and finally get around the Aston Martin of Flying Cow. As Flying Cow goes into the pits. 12 laps to go. As Fierce goes longer and longer onto those hard tires, and the gap is now at 14.7 seconds as his tires are falling fast. He just fell almost a second. Yeah, you gotta expect the pit. It's coming around. No real battles. Yeah, those tires are not in a good shape. You can see the bumps and ridges on the tires already. 14.4. And he's gonna stay out and Moon with a 3-second time penalty. But he will complete the overtake on Ducky in the process. He probably should get the position back. Ducky isn't gone though. Ducky's on the inside. They are so close to making contact. Moon makes a aggressive entrance and gets a great exit off of it. He could go onto the softs, but that's a question of can Fierce manage the softs, because we saw it with Luzzy. They don't last. Wow. And a 3-second time. Razum, who's still on the hard tire. He's went 15 laps. He's gone as long as Fierce. Ducky and Moon are still battling now. But Ducky is falling out of 3 seconds. Yeah, a bad pit stop would be the worst thing that happened to Fierce at this moment as he continues to fall behind in his gap for the lead of this race. He only has... He's coming in. And we will see. And as Sarkos is crossing the line, Fierce is into the pits and has on the new tires, and he is on his way out as Sarkos completes turn number 1. And it is going to be 5.8 second gap. It's definitely going to be close. Luzzy went into the wall. He tried to make the pit, but missed. He backed up on circuit, and now, but as we talk about the gap to lead, for those math junkies that are going to be doing the math every second, Fierce is going to need to take away at least 0.5 seconds a lap if he's going to want to overtake Sarkos. Fierce has dropped a second off of Sarkos. He can't keep getting away with it. As Sarkos continues his fight for the lead, we drop down as Ghosty has made his overtake on Tony, but he is still battling for it around the outside. Ghosty goes off to try and complete the overtake, and Tony stays ahead. Our best battle isn't even for points, folks. It's Ghosty and Tony. Tony hasn't been on the grid in a couple of weeks, but he makes his return, and he's battling for P11. Yeah, it's not about if Fierce can get there. It's about when he will, but he is really kind of all over the place with lap times. So, we'll see, but he should get the overtake. But Ghosty still over the top of Tony, and he's going to get his 3-second time penalty. So now it's really can't make a mistake here for Ghosty. Yeah, let's check the incidents so we can see if maybe we have somebody. Fierce does have one. I saw it early in the race. Yeah, Sarkles has none. Fierce has one. So, with 2.3 seconds to go, how will this race end? One thing Fierce has to do, get past Sarkles. We haven't seen Sarkles play defense. If I had the chance to try and be the guy that's won every race of the season, I'm playing the best defense of my life, folks. And if you're, and I'm currently getting dragged out of the broadcast. It's been fun. Wait. As you heard in the background, there was a little. I think someone dropped a. I don't know. That was definitely not gunshots. It was someone playing. Yeah. As fierce, the gap is now down to 1.8 seconds. And really, our closest battle. Well, Flying Cow is now on Ghosty swag as he's going to complete the overtake and settle down, and they make contact in the process. Yeah, it didn't affect the other car. Just gave him a kiss and passed him along, and he'll see him at the end of the race. Yes, 7 seconds. It's going to be impossible for Fierce to complete the overtake with 7 laps to go. And if you heard my last comment, I hope you know that was extremely satire. It's really just if Sarkles is feeling a little Mahoney. And this performance out of Fierce, this is something we would see out of number 15 on that Kansas City roster playing quarterback. I mean, one of the best. Speaking of gaps, the gap is down 0.9 with Fierce on the back of Sarkles. Is he going to complete the overtake? He's not going to have nearly enough. I mean, he was gaining, and then I don't know what happened. In other news, the battle for 12th is the most interesting thing on RTV. As Mile is now on the. Oh, never mind. We got a more interesting battle. B&A, our local terrorists, on the back of Scullum, down on the final straight. Oh, Fierce on the straight. Can he get the overtake? Into the lead with 6 laps to go. Oh, he swerves. Couldn't commit. And this is going to be... Is he going to try and make the overtake here? He's going to go for it. He's going to... As they go wheel to wheel, we're going to go on board with Sarkles. As Fierce is going to drive on by. Sarkles went a little bit off the track. Fierce. Now going to begin to pull away from Sarkles. Scullum now on the back of... B&A on the back of Scullum. Nappy on the back of B&A. The battle for P7 is really heating up between cars P7 through P10. They're all on pretty equal tire life, except for Flying Cow. Yeah, Sector 3 should be the end of it, and it is. Oh, nope. Sarkle's still within DRS. And he continues to get DRS. Nappy down the inside, cuts the corner a little bit, gets past being. Oh, a lockup. Flying cow past Nappy now. Flying cow makes the overtake on B&A. No, he can't complete it yet. He's gonna have to go around the outside. Can he stick it? He does. He's through on B&A, and is that maybe a contender for overtake of the year, folks? Oh. Yeah, Sarkle's actually still within DRS. Could Fierce's tires maybe? No. Could they begin to offset? Maybe Fierce is not wearing his tires properly because the gap has dropped between the top two cars. Flying Cow gets past B&A. Sarkle's now. Yeah, he is still keeping up on the back of that Kick Sauber car. It's flying. They are still battling. B&A won't give up as Ghosty is now in the hunt for P10 as he would love to get points. Sarkles. Don't count him out. I told you it's going to be a battle of consistency. He's found his consistency, and he is all over the back of Fierce with a lot of battery. Could this be his chance to make a overtake? It's 7/10 with DRS. And yeah, nothing. No overtake attempt, but the gap is 0.6. Fierce is struggling, folks. The place Fierce should be significantly faster than Sarkles. Yeah, he won't have a good exit, but with DRS, he should be still in a great position here. And he's still down to only 0.6. Dude, Sarkles, the way he's driving, I mean, it seems like their tire wear has just swapped. Sarkles is flying through the S's. This fight is not over. Sarkles. Yeah, the gap just still bouncing around. He needs to focus on his exits because his... Yeah, these These guys are looking fantastic. If he can keep it around, if he can drop it into 0.4 seconds before he gets to the S's, Fierce Sarkos gets 3 seconds and this race is over, folks. 1. Fierce has a second warning, folks. If he... Yeah, Fierce can just keep it on track, then he's fine. But if Sarkos wants a chance to win this race, he is going to have to throw his elbows. And he has 88% battery. Sarkos is trying to catch him with everything in his power on this final straight. Yeah, yeah. Sarkos now down 0.3 seconds. Could he make an attempt here soon? He's gonna make Fierce worry. Fierce almost goes off the track. He's gotta be careful. He does. Can he complete it? He doesn't. But can he complete Fierce into a mistake with only so much warnings left? Sarkos is going to have plenty. And Fierce is low on gas. And can he complete it? Fierce has never been beaten on track. And Fierce makes contact. Sarkos will beat Fierce on track, and for the first time all season, Fierce has been thrown on track, but Fierce is our winner in Austin and is our winner of our season beta Formula 11 championship. He has gone perfect so far, and he is our deserving world champion. He won at Ferrari, he's won at Kick Sauber. Kick Sauber have the first inaugural champion. Season beta has gone to Fierce. As we round it out with Sarkos, Lavello, Flying Cow, and Skolem, we gotta have a race to the finish. And Skolem will etch it out. And after all the time penalties, the battle for last. Nappy gets by Tony, the former teammates. Tony gets a 3 seconds in the process. In your final Fiercest world champion. Sarkles, Lavello, Moon, Ducky, uh, Ghosty, Slime, someone else, Flying Cow, someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else, and someone else. And 3 DNFs. And a great job that everyone named someone else. Driver of the day was BNA. He started in last, made up a bunch of places on the grid. He was the F1 driver of the day. Fierce is the world champion, folks. He dominated the race. He dominated on track. Let me see if I could low-key do this. Yeah, your final results: Fierce P1, Sarkles P2, Lavello P3, Moon P4, Ducky P5, Adele in P6, Ghosty in P7, Skull in P8, Flying Cow in P9, Razdim in P10, BNA in P11, Slime in P12, Luzzy P13, Mile P14, Nappy P16, Tony P16, Chase P17, Big P18, and laid the rest in last. Well, folks, I appreciate I appreciate y'all tuning in for the stream. I hope y'all enjoy the race. And we will see y'all back next week at Bahrain. And we will see y'all tomorrow at Brazil for our Formula 12 sprint weekend. Where Wii Sports says he will take the lead of the F12 championship. We'll see you then.